San Diego City Councilman Mark Kersey takes me to a stretch of Poway Road on the border with San Diego.
Because this has just been allowed to be neglected for far too long.
As the highway sign announces the beginning of the city of Poway, the road suddenly changes from one with lots of bumps and cracks to a road as smooth as glass.
The mayor of Poway, Steve Voss, has always given me a hard time on this road and others because the city of San Diego has just not been doing a good job.
But Kersey says he has an answer to the problem of beat-up or inadequate roads, sidewalks, parks, libraries, in fact, any physical facility the city's responsible for.
So that's really what Prop H is about, is addressing that issue and making sure that, that the next generation doesn't have to deal with the same problem.
Proposition H creates no new taxes. It reserves expected future funds for infrastructure repair and construction. Here's how. Over the next 25 years, it reserves any growth in sales tax above the rate of the Consumer Price Index. It captures all cash savings from reduced payments to the city's pension fund as the pension deficit is paid down. And it captures 50% of all growth in property tax, hotel tax, and franchise fees over the next 5 years. The estimated money set aside for infrastructure, nearly $4 billion, says Kersey, who calls it a conservative estimate.
Swing set, it still works, I assume, but it's not very attractive.
No, it's not. And you see all this rust up here.
Kersey also showed me a park in his district, Council District 5, that he says hasn't been maintained since it was built decades ago. He seems committed to doing better, but not everyone thinks he's on the right track with Rebuild San Diego.
Some taxpayer advocates and city workers' unions have come out against it. Some say Rebuild San Diego doesn't raise enough money. Some say reserving money for infrastructure is going to take money away from public safety, and some say there isn't enough detail in the initiative to tell us what projects are going to get funded.
This, by all accounts, will not solve the problem.
One of the critics is San Diego City Councilman Todd Gloria, who voted against putting Prop H on the ballot this year.
We already take about half of our general fund revenue growth and dedicate it toward infrastructure. What I know is that 75% of San Diegans are unhappy with the status quo. And so what this is doing is locking in the status quo for the next 25 years. If you don't like the roads the way they are now, you're not going to like them after Proposition H becomes law.
Gloria says San Diegans don't like new taxes, but that's clearly what's needed to solve our infrastructure problem.
If you have a problem that is measured $4 to $5 billion large, and you have a general fund that is $1.2 billion, it doesn't take a math genius to figure out we need additional resources.
Balboa Park is one part of San Diego that needs better upkeep. Estimated deferred maintenance here is in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And on a sunny April afternoon, we asked San Diegans here what they thought the city needed to do a better job of maintaining.
We had a flood in our complex because the storm drain system didn't work. And we had been telling the city about it for months. And finally, when we got that big rain in May of 2015, the storm drain it flooded and it went into our garages, and yeah, we had a major mess.
I think our parks, our public parks, should be cared for. I think they're very important for the community. It's a good place for children, for families to get together. I think we could do more and better, like keeping them clean would be nice.
We do need to keep this up. This is history right here. This is something that I want my grandkids to be able to enjoy one day.
Will the ballot box budgeting of Rebuild San Diego solve the problem?
We should be in much better shape.
Councilman Kersey says it will take a big step in the right direction. He says new revenue would be nice, but good luck passing a tax this election year. In November, local tax initiatives in the works want to raise money for everything from a Chargers stadium to fire stations to mass transit.
So you've got potentially 5 or maybe even 6 revenue or tax measures on the November ballot. And I think there's a pretty good chance if that's the case, especially the ones that require 2/3, they're all going to lose.
In June, we'll see what will be the fate of San Diego Proposition H. Tom Fudge, KPBS News.